Have you ever stopped to think about the transformative power of loving unconditionally and dedicating yourself to a cause and mission that transcends your own existence? Imagine for a moment that, in the midst of the darkness of the world, you find in love and commitment a force so intense that it can change your destiny and the destiny of those around you. And if I were to tell you that there is a path, a spiritual route that invites you not to live in apathy, but to ignite the flame of your faith and hope through total surrender to a divine mission, would you dare to discover it? Today, I invite you to enter into a deep reflection that will lead you to explore what it means to love with all your heart and commit yourself to a cause that impacts the history of your life and that of humanity. Since time immemorial, great leaders and prophets have shown that love, when lived with authenticity, is not a passing emotion, but a force capable of moving mountains and transforming empires. True love, that which is born of an intimate connection with the Creator, knows no limits and expresses itself in dedication to causes greater than oneself. Perhaps in some corner of your soul, you have felt that call, that soft but persistent whisper that urges you to get out of your routine, to challenge your fears, and to make a commitment that lifts you above the trivialities of everyday life. It is in those moments of introspection that the true dimension of the mission to which you are called is revealed. To love and dedicate yourself to a cause is to surrender completely to a passion that transcends the personal. It is as if the universe conspires to remind you that every heartbeat, every breath is imbued with a greater purpose, a destiny that can only be achieved when living in communion with divine truth. In the Bible, we find numerous examples of people who, guided by unwavering love and fervent commitment, transformed not only their lives, but the lives of entire generations. Think of Abraham, who gave up everything to follow God's call, or Moses, who abandoned his life of comfort to free his people from slavery. They understood that the true meaning of life is found in giving oneself to a mission that, although painful and full of sacrifices, leads to an eternal reward. Today, in a world saturated with distractions and superficialities, loving and committing to a cause has become a revolutionary act. We live in times when selfishness and immediacy seem to reign, but in the midst of this maelstrom, the call to dedication and authentic love resonates strongly. Imagine that every action, every small gesture of solidarity, is a seed that germinates in the fertile ground of hope, capable of blossoming and transforming entire communities. To love is not simply to feel affection or admiration. It is to commit oneself body and soul to work for an ideal, to fight for what is just, and to serve others with a passion that knows no limits. It is an act of faith that requires courage, discipline, and above all, a sincere connection with the Creator that drives you to be the best version of yourself. If you have ever felt empty, disconnected, or aimless, perhaps it is because you have not yet discovered that mission that calls you to transcend. That inner voice, that divine whisper, invites you to leave behind the chains of conformity and embrace a purpose that renews your spirit. Loving yourself and others, committing yourself to a cause, is the purest way to honor the image of God within you. It is like turning on a light in the middle of the dark night, a light that not only illuminates your path, but also guides others to hope. Every time you choose to love and dedicate yourself to a project or a cause, you are participating in the miracle of life, in the eternal cycle of giving and redemption that is reflected in creation. Imagine for a moment that your life becomes a beacon of hope for those around you. Every word, every action, becomes a testimony to the power of true love. It is not an easy task. It requires courage to face your own weaknesses, to overcome the fear of failure, and to renounce that which binds you to the mundane. However, the reward is immense. The peace that comes from knowing that you have lived according to a higher ideal, the satisfaction of seeing that your efforts have inspired others, and the certainty that, at every step, the Creator walks with you. That is the essence of dedicating yourself to a cause, of loving unconditionally, and of giving yourself to a mission that, despite adversity, has the potential to change the world. This call to action is not merely an inspirational speech. It is a personal challenge. Today you are invited to reflect on what really moves you, on what you are willing to fight for unreservedly. What cause ignites that spark within you? What mission calls you to put aside indifference and act with determination? Perhaps it is the search for justice for the oppressed, the defense of the rights of the forgotten, or simply the desire to build a more humane and caring environment. No matter what your choice, the essential thing is that you embrace it with an open heart, knowing that every step in that direction is an offering to a God who values the sacrifice of those who dare to love intensely. By committing yourself to a cause, you also become part of a community of like-minded souls, of people who, like you, have decided that life has a purpose beyond the daily grind and accumulation of material goods. Together, you can create a movement of transformation where every act of love and dedication is multiplied and has a lasting impact. It is in that togetherness, in that feeling of fraternity, that true strength is forged. The mission to which you are called not only belongs to you, but extends to all those who join in this collective purpose, creating a web of light that dispels the darkness and reconnects the world with God's unfailing love. However, committing to a cause requires more than good intentions. It demands action, perseverance, and, above all, a deep spiritual connection that nourishes you in times of doubt and discouragement. Dedication is forged in the discipline of prayer, in the constant study of the Word, and in selfless dedication to others. Every day when you wake up, you have the opportunity to choose to live with purpose, to decide that your life will be a reflection of divine love, and that your actions will bear witness to the mission to which you have been called. That decision, though seemingly simple, has the power to transform your reality and open doors you never imagined. And it is that loving and dedicating oneself to a cause is not just about achieving personal goals, but about recognizing that every human being is part of a greater plan, of a divine symphony in which every note counts and has its reason for being. It is a reminder that we are not alone, that our efforts, however small they may seem, have the potential to resonate into eternity and influence the destiny of many lives. Thus, by embracing this mission, you become an instrument of God's love, an agent of change who, through your commitment, contributes to building a more just, compassionate, and hope-filled world. Allow yourself to dream. Allow yourself to feel the impetus of that love that calls you to action. Imagine that every time you choose to dedicate yourself to a cause, it is like planting a seed in a garden that, with time and proper care, will blossom and bear abundant fruit. Do not be afraid of obstacles, nor be intimidated by difficulties. Remember that in the history of salvation, even the moments of greatest darkness preceded the dawn of redemption. The commitment you may make today is an offering of faith, a bold step toward the realization of a destiny that is only revealed when it is lived with passion and total surrender. If you feel in the depths of your being that call to love and to dedicate yourself to a cause, let that voice rise above doubts and fears. Abandon the comfort of the known and dare to walk on unexplored paths, for there you will find the greatness that lies in the union of human love and divine mission. Let every beat of your heart be a testimony of the transforming power of a love that knows no limits, and let your every action reflect your commitment to be an active part of a plan that transcends the personal and enters the eternal. Today, I invite you to give yourself to this path without reserve, to look with determination to the horizon, and embrace the mission that the Spirit whispers to you at every moment. May unconditional love and passion for a greater cause be the driving force behind every step of your life. And in that commitment, may you find true freedom and spiritual fulfillment. For in loving and dedicating yourself to a cause, you not only transform your existence, but you also become a light to the world, a beacon that guides others to the radiance of a living and transforming faith. Now, without further ado, I invite you to immerse yourself in this study, to let reflection and prayer take you by the hand towards a deeper understanding of what it means to love intensely and to give yourself to a mission that changes the world. Go ahead, and may the light of the Most High illuminate every corner of your path. The call of the disciples is one of the most inspiring episodes in Scripture, for it illustrates with starkness and beauty the transforming power of love and commitment to a higher mission. When Jesus went out to the seashore and called Peter, Andrew, James, and John, he not only invited them to leave their nets, but offered them the possibility of a radically different destiny, to leave the security of the known to dedicate themselves entirely to the work of salvation. In that instant, the essence of loving and dedicating oneself to a cause that transcends the personal and touches the eternal was revealed. This call was not a simple appeal, but an invitation to participate actively in a divine mission, in which every gesture and every sacrifice counted for the transformation of the world. The disciples, aware of the magnitude of the call, left behind their occupations and relationships, surrendering themselves unreservedly to a path full of uncertainty, but also of hope. Thus, the story teaches us that authentic love implies renouncing one's own in order to embrace a greater ideal, where dedication becomes a bridge between the human and the divine. The experience of the call is based on the conviction that the true meaning of life is found in service and selfless dedication. In the life of Jesus, love manifested itself not only in words but in concrete actions. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, and comforted the afflicted. This radical love inspired his disciples to act, to commit themselves to a cause that would transform their hearts and the environment in which they lived. In accepting the call, they ceased to be mere fishermen or artisans and became bearers of a light that would, little by little, spread across the face of the earth. The personal sacrifice involved in leaving behind the familiar and the comfortable is not easy, but it is precisely in that renunciation that true greatness is found. The disciples had to learn to trust a guidance that often appears mysterious and challenging. Their experience reminds us that loving and dedicating oneself to a cause requires a leap of faith, a willingness to face the fear of the unknown and the possible loss of security. However, this renunciation is rewarded with a profound inner transformation. Each step towards the divine mission strengthens character and ignites a passion that goes beyond human limits. In this context, the example of the disciples stands as a model for those who today feel called to commit themselves to a cause. It is not a matter of abandoning earthly life for no reason, but of integrating it into a vision that elevates the spirit and nourishes the soul. Surrender to the divine. Mission becomes a revolutionary act in a world that is often ruled by selfishness and immediacy. When you decide to love unconditionally and dedicate yourself to a project or a cause, you are affirming that your life has a greater purpose, that every action counts in building a future full of hope and justice. The call to follow Jesus demands that we let go of the bonds that prevent us from seeing the reality of our spiritual potential. It is an impulse to break down walls of indifference, to courageously face criticism, and to embrace with determination the responsibility to transform our environment. Just as the disciples joined together in a community of faith, today we are invited to be part of networks that promote love, solidarity, and social commitment. In that sense, each act of dedication is a living testimony that the mission to which we are called is possible, and that true love has the power to break down barriers and unite hearts. The lesson of the disciples' call becomes even more relevant when we connect it to contemporary reality. In a world saturated with distractions and superficialities, committing oneself to a cause and living a genuine love becomes an act of rebellion and hope. It means choosing total surrender over indifference, commitment over apathy. Each of us has the capacity to ignite a spark that transforms the lives of those around us, to be beacons of light in the midst of darkness, guiding others to a path of faith and purpose. To love and dedicate ourselves to a mission is ultimately a statement that we believe in a better future and that we are willing to work every day to build it. This call is not only an invitation to action, but also to personal reflection. What cause ignites your passion? What mission are you willing to dedicate yourself to with an open heart, even knowing that the road will be full of challenges? The poor. Answer to these questions is unique to each person, and that is where the power of love lies. In its ability to personalize itself and become the force that drives you to be the best version of yourself. Just as the disciples left behind their nets to follow Jesus, you can decide to let go of what holds you back and commit to a cause that fills you with meaning and purpose. Allow yourself to imagine a future in which your every action, no matter how small, becomes a manifestation of divine love, a contribution to the common good. That vision is possible, and it begins with the decision to love unconditionally and to give yourself to the mission that the Spirit inspires in you. Every step, every sacrifice, every renunciation adds up to a trajectory of transformation that not only enriches your life but also illuminates the path for others. This is the essence of loving and dedicating yourself to a cause, an act of faith that connects you to the Creator and propels you to be an instrument of change in a world crying out for hope and justice. Commitment to a cause and a mission is not something that is adopted overnight, but is forged through daily perseverance and a willingness to transform oneself internally. On this path, every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow, to polish our character and to move to the ideal of unconditional love that the Creator has shown us. Imagine that your life is like a blank canvas. Every action, every sacrifice, every renunciation becomes a stroke that, in time, will form a masterpiece reflecting light and truth. That work is not only yours, but also has the power to inspire others, to ignite in their hearts the spark of hope and the desire to strive for a better world. Dedication to a cause invites us to step out of the comfort of the everyday and to face the fears that bind us. It is a call to leave behind the nets that keep us from flying, to let go of what no longer serves and to open ourselves to the possibility of a full and purposeful life. As in the story of the disciples, who left their old lives to follow Jesus, we too can decide to abandon that which limits us in order to embrace a mission that lifts us up. That decision, however risky it may seem, is the first step toward a profound transformation that manifests itself in every gesture of love, every word of encouragement, and every selfless act of service to others. True love is expressed in commitment to what transcends the merely personal. When you decide to dedicate yourself to a cause, you become part of a network of solidarity, a fundamental link in a chain that has the power to change realities. Think of the strength of a united community, where each individual contributes what he or she has, no matter how small it may seem, and together they build a future full of light. This union is like the singing of a choir, where each voice, even if modulated differently, unites in a harmony that resonates in the souls of those who listen to it. Thus, by committing yourself to a mission, not only you enrich your spirit, but you also become a source of inspiration and strength for those around you. The task of loving and dedicating oneself to a cause also requires deep self-knowledge and the humility to recognize our own limitations. It is essential to ask ourselves what our values are, what moves us, and what we want to change in the world. This introspection is not an act of negative self-criticism, but a process of personal discovery that allows us to align our actions with divine truth. By understanding who we are in essence, we can identify the cause that resonates with our being, the one that makes us feel alive and that, at the same time, contributes to the construction of a more just and compassionate society. It is in this inner encounter that the determination to act, to not stand idly by in the face of injustice or indifference that prevails in many areas of life, is born. Moreover, dedicating oneself to a mission implies assuming a social and spiritual responsibility that transcends our own needs. It is recognizing that we live in an interconnected world where the well-being of one is linked to the well-being of all. When you commit to a cause, you are saying no to passivity and yes to transformation. Every action you take, every small gesture of love and justice has the potential to multiply and have a positive impact on your community. This perspective invites you to look beyond the immediate, to project your efforts toward a future in which solidarity and compassion are the pillars of a new reality. Dedication to a mission then becomes a revolutionary act in a world where indifference prevails. It is a constant reminder that love is not just a passing sentiment, but a force that, when put into action, can tear down walls and open up unsuspected paths. It is a commitment that is nourished by faith and hope, and that is reflected in the ability to transform even the most adverse circumstances into opportunities for growth and renewal. Ultimately, loving and dedicating oneself to a cause is a statement of faith, an affirmation that we believe in a better future, and that we are willing to work perseveringly to make it a reality. Throughout this journey, we have seen how love manifests itself in grand gestures and daily acts, in transcendental decisions and in moments of silent surrender. I invite you to reflect on the mission that calls you, on that cause that, although perhaps not yet clear to you, is felt deep within you. Ask yourself, What legacy do I want to leave? How can I be an instrument of change in a world that needs hope so much? Because every action, no matter how small, adds up and becomes a testimony to the transforming power of true love. Ultimately, loving and dedicating yourself to a cause is a path of total surrender, of renouncing the ephemeral to embrace the eternal. It is a commitment that calls you to be the best version of yourself, to sacrifice your comforts and to walk with courage towards a destiny full of purpose. And above all, it is an invitation to live in communion with the Creator, who urges you to be light in the darkness and to make a difference in every corner of existence. May this reflection inspire you to seek that inner call, to recognize the mission that God has for you and to act with determination and love. Because in every step you take, in every decision you make with your heart on high, you are contributing to the construction of a world that is more just, more humane, and closer to God's will. Let the light of love guide you, and let your every action be a reflection of the commitment you have made to a cause that transcends the personal and becomes ultimately an act of faith and hope. Commitment to a cause and a mission becomes then a way of transcending one's own existence, of finding in every action an echo of the eternal. This total dedication, expressed in sincere love and in the will to serve, is not the fruit of impulsivity, but of a meditated decision, nourished by reflection and prayer. When you set out to dedicate yourself to a cause, you are not only choosing a path, but you are laying a foundation on which to build a purposeful future. Imagine your life as a sturdy tree, whose deep roots are nourished by wisdom, love, and truth. Every committed action, every sacrifice, and every act of kindness are like leaves that, despite winds and storms, stand firm, growing and expanding, and in the end, offering abundant fruit to nourish those who pass by. The call to love and dedicate yourself to a cause is, in essence, an invitation to become an agent of transformation. It is not just about reaching personal goals or accumulating individual achievements, but about being part of a collective movement that aspires to renew the world with the light of faith and unconditional love. This mission is manifested in the solidarity that extends in every daily gesture, in the embrace of the needy, in the word of encouragement to the suffering, in the silent action of those who, without seeking recognition, make service their way of life. It is precisely this ability to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary that makes the difference between living for oneself and living for the common good. On this path, self-knowledge becomes vital. You need to stop and ask yourself, what cause ignites my passion? What deep dream or longing drives me to step out of comfort and take risks in pursuit of a greater good? The answer to these questions is not always immediate, but each reflection brings you closer to understanding that the true meaning of life lies at the intersection between the personal and the collective. It is at that point that mission is founded. The instant you recognize that your destiny is linked to that of others, that each personal achievement takes on a value that transcends your own history. In addition, dedicating oneself to a cause requires courage to face uncertainty and the possibility of failure. Life presents us with constant challenges, and it is normal to fear the unknown. However, it is precisely in those moments of doubt that love and faith should shine the brightest. Imagine that every obstacle is a stone in the path, and that you have the ability to transform them into stepping stones to a higher goal. Thus, commitment becomes a process of continuous improvement, in which you learn to trust in divine providence, and to see in every difficulty an opportunity to grow and to strengthen your convictions. Love and dedication to a mission also imply an internal transformation that is reflected in the environment. By committing yourself to a cause, you become a role model for those around you. Your example can inspire family, friends, and colleagues to rethink their priorities and seek a purpose that transcends the material. It is as if, by turning on your own inner light, you also illuminate the path of others who are in darkness. That chain of transformation is the true miracle of love, the multiplier effect of every sincere action that reaches out and touches lives, creating a virtuous circle of hope and renewal. Of course, this path is not without sacrifices. At times, commitment to a cause requires giving up certain temporal pleasures or comforts that, while pleasant, can take you away from the divine purpose. But every renunciation, every act of surrender, has a price that is paid in the currency of faith, and whose reward is a full and meaningful life. Think of it as the cultivation of a garden. In order for the flowers to grow and bear fruit, you need to remove weeds and spend time and effort tending each plant. Likewise, by eliminating distractions and focusing on what truly matters, your life will be filled with the beauty and harmony that comes from living in communion with the divine mission. In the end, loving and dedicating yourself to a cause is a declaration of faith that transforms not only your reality, but that of the entire world. It is an act of rebellion against indifference, a cry of hope that resonates in every corner of existence. Every step you take, every commitment you make, is a reflection of the light that carries within you, and that, when shared, multiplies and reaches out to touch those who need it most. On this journey, you will discover that true love knows no limits, and that, when you give yourself without reserve, you become an instrument of the divine plan, capable of tearing down walls and sowing peace in troubled hearts. May this reflection spur you to rediscover your passion for a mission that moves your soul, to let love guide your decisions, and to commit yourself to an ideal that lifts your spirit. Every day is a new opportunity to act, to sow hope, and to demonstrate that deep down we are made to love and transform. And remember, in every action, in every gesture, the grace of the Most High manifests itself, inviting you to be the light that the world needs so much. Commitment to a mission is not simply a solitary journey, but a shared experience in community. When you decide to love and dedicate yourself to a cause, you join a network of souls who, although diverse in their stories, are united by the same desire: to transform reality through love. It is in this union that the strength necessary to face the toughest challenges is forged. It is in the congregation, in that sincere dialogue with other believers, that your spirit is nourished and your determination strengthened. Solidarity becomes the cornerstone of this movement, for each collective act of love has the potential to generate profound changes in society. Imagine a community that wakes up every day with the conviction that true power lies in selfless giving. That image is a beacon that illuminates even the darkest nights. In addition, dedicating yourself to a cause teaches you the value of sacrifice. It's not about giving up what you love, but about transforming those sacrifices into opportunities to grow and learn. Every time you give up a momentary comfort, you are planting the seed of a personal transformation that, over time, is reflected in actions that benefit others. It is as if each relinquishment becomes a seed that, watered by faith, blossoms into an act of pure and lasting love. This process of sacrifice and reward not only strengthens you internally, but also prepares you to face future adversity with the conviction that, in the end, dedication to a greater cause always brings with it an eternal purpose. The path of commitment is, without a doubt, a constant challenge. There are days when the difficulties seem insurmountable and the temptation to give up is very strong. However, it is precisely in those moments of weakness that true love becomes most evident, when every small gesture of faith and perseverance becomes a testimony of victory over hopelessness. The key is to remember that every obstacle overcome, every challenge faced, brings you one step closer to the realization of that purpose that the Spirit has whispered to you. You are not alone on this journey. God's hand reaches out all along the way, guiding you and strengthening your spirit with every step. That divine promise is an anchor that holds you steady, even in the midst of storms, reminding you that love is the most powerful force of all. In practice, living committed to a cause translates into concrete actions and daily decisions that reflect your faith. It can be as simple as offering a word of encouragement to a fellow human being in difficulty, or as impactful as leading a community project that provides solutions to real problems. Every act of love and solidarity is a manifestation of the mission God has placed in you. Thus, by becoming an instrument of change, you leave an indelible mark on the lives of others, and in the process, you discover a satisfaction and an inner peace that transcends any material achievement. It is a call to be a light in the darkness, to light the spark of hope in every corner, and to demonstrate that when you live with purpose, every action has the power to transform not only your life, but that of an entire community. Commitment also implies accepting that the road will not always be easy, and that there will be moments of doubt and fatigue. But it is precisely in those moments that faith is strengthened. Adversity, far from being an insurmountable obstacle, becomes the training ground where spiritual endurance is forged. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn to trust more in divine providence, to develop a resilience that allows you to move forward, even when the horizon seems unattainable. Remember that great spiritual leaders also faced moments of uncertainty and weakness, but their unwavering commitment enabled them to overcome and leave an eternal legacy. By committing yourself to love and dedication to a cause, you join that tradition of faith that transforms adversity into triumph. It is also essential to recognize that every committed action generates a ripple effect. What you do today, even if it seems insignificant, can influence the lives of many others tomorrow. It's like throwing a pebble into a lake. The ripples that are generated spread and reach places you can't even imagine. This multiplier effect is the engine of profound social change, where each person, acting with love and dedication, becomes a catalyst for transformation. By sharing your commitment, you inspire others to do the same, and together you build a network of solidarity that can change the reality of an entire community. This collective spirit is a tangible manifestation of God's love, proof that when we unite in pursuit of the greater good, the universe conspires in our favor. To conclude this reflection, it is important to make a personal invitation. What cause are you passionate about? What mission moves you to leave indifference behind and act with determination? Take a moment to meditate on it, to identify that spark that ignites your heart and drives you to dream of a better future. The answer to these questions can be the beginning of a transformation that not only uplifts you, but also illuminates the path of those around you. Do not underestimate the power of a decision based on love and faith. It is the foundation of a full and meaningful life, and it is the first step toward realizing that eternal purpose you long for. May this reflection inspire you to commit yourself every day, to be a living witness to the transforming power of unconditional love, and to act courageously in pursuit of a mission that transcends the personal. Because when you dedicate yourself to a cause with an open heart, you not only change your destiny, you become a source of light that can illuminate even the darkest corners of the world. Live with passion, act with purpose, and let your commitment be a reflection of God's eternal love for you. Go forth, and may the light of the Most High guide your every step into a future filled with hope and transformation. Commitment to a cause and dedication to a mission is not a short and challenging journey. It is a path of profound transformation in which every action becomes an act of faith and unconditional love. When you decide to dedicate yourself to a cause, not only do you set out to change the course of your life, but you open yourself to the possibility of impacting those around you, becoming a living instrument of divine love. Imagine that your existence is a vast blank canvas, where every stroke, every decision, every sacrifice adds up to form a masterpiece that reflects the light of the Creator. This process of creation requires perseverance, discipline, and above all, a sincere commitment to that which transcends the personal and projects itself towards the collective well-being. The transformation that comes from committing to a mission is, in essence, an internal revolution that forces you to confront your fears and break down the barriers that prevent you from reaching your full potential. Every obstacle you encounter along the way becomes a teacher that teaches you how to grow, polish your character, and strengthen your spirit. It is as if each challenge is a cornerstone in building a life full of meaning and purpose. The experience shows you that instead of fearing failure, you should see it as an opportunity to learn, to rediscover the strength that lies deep within you, and to renew your commitment to love unconditionally. Loving and dedicating yourself to a cause also implies renouncing the comfort of selfishness and immediacy, opting instead for total surrender to an ideal that, although it may seem unattainable, is the very essence of life. It is time to leave behind those ties that prevent you from flying, to let go of what no longer nourishes your soul, and to open yourself to the possibility of true change. Like a gardener pulling weeds to allow plants to flourish, you must learn to eliminate distractions and focus on what really matters. The mission that calls you to be a beacon of hope in the midst of darkness. True love, that which transforms, and edifies, is expressed in the capacity to see beyond immediate circumstances and to embrace a greater purpose. When you dedicate yourself to a cause, you become part of a network of solidarity, an essential link in a chain of love and compassion that stretches across time and space. Every small gesture, every act of solidarity, has the power to generate a ripple effect that can transform entire communities. It is a reminder that, although the world may seem to be mired in indifference and disunity, there is invincible strength in the union of hearts committed to a higher ideal. Likewise, dedicating yourself to a mission requires deep introspection and self-knowledge. It is essential to ask yourself what your core values are, what dreams and longings lie deep within you, and how you can channel those impulses into concrete actions that benefit others. This process of self-evaluation is not an exercise in negative self-criticism, but an opportunity to align your decisions with divine truth and to discover the unique purpose that God has placed in you. It is from this personal knowledge that you can define the cause that will ignite your passion, the one that will propel you to set aside inertia and act with determination for a better future. Commitment to a mission, on the other hand, is an act of courage that invites you to challenge the immediacy and consumerism that prevail in today's society. In a world saturated with distractions and the search for instant gratification, dedicating yourself to a cause stands as a revolutionary act, a cry of rebellion against apathy and indifference. It is a call to live consciously, to recognize that every day is a new opportunity to make a difference, and to understand that by giving your heart, you become a living witness to the transforming power of love. This life choice not only changes you, but also has the capacity to inspire others to follow your example, creating a current of hope and solidarity that transcends individual boundaries. Along the way, you will learn that personal sacrifice, though painful at times, is an investment in a future full of spiritual rewards. Giving up certain pleasures or momentary comfort is, in reality, the first step towards an integral transformation that will allow you to reach a lasting satisfaction, not based on ephemeral achievements, but in the certainty of having contributed to a greater good. Each renunciation becomes an offering that, watered by faith and love, blossoms into acts of kindness and a life full of purpose. Thus, by sacrificing the superfluous, you make room for the essential: love, compassion, and selfless giving. Your path of mission is also a journey of constant learning and growth. You will face moments of doubt, fatigue, and uncertainty, but it is precisely in those moments when grace manifests itself and sustains you. Perseverance, nourished by a routine of prayer and study of the Word, becomes your ally in overcoming any obstacle. The community of faith, made up of those who share your vision and your commitment, will provide you with the support you need to stay the course and to keep moving forward, even when your strength seems to waver. It is in this union, in this sharing of experiences and challenges, that the determination to continue fighting for a more just and loving world is strengthened. Finally, by dedicating yourself to a cause, you become an agent of change whose impact goes beyond the immediate. Every action, however modest it may seem, adds up to a global movement that seeks to transform reality through love and solidarity commitment. It is like throwing a stone into a calm lake. The ripples that are generated expand and touch places you never imagined, carrying with them the seed of transformation. Thus your life, imbued with the mission to which you have given yourself, becomes a living testimony to the power of faith and unconditional love, a light that illuminates the path for those who still seek hope in the midst of darkness. May this reflection inspire you to embrace with fervor the cause that calls you, to commit every day to a greater purpose and to transform every obstacle into an opportunity to grow. Live with passion, act with determination, and let God's love guide your every step into a future filled with light and hope. May your commitment not only transform your life, but become a beacon of inspiration to all those around you, showing that true love and sincere dedication are the key to a better world. In this ongoing journey toward discovering your purpose, it is important to recognize that the path of dedication to a cause is not limited only to grand public gestures, but is also forged in small daily actions. Every decision you make, from raising your hand to help a neighbor to spending a few extra minutes in prayer and reflection, is a brick that builds the monument of your commitment. The greatness of the mission to which you are called lies not in the notoriety of your actions, but in the authenticity with which you give yourself to them, in the constancy of that love that is reflected in everyday life. Thus, each day becomes an opportunity to light a spark that, when united with those of others, becomes a fire capable of illuminating the darkest corners of existence. Imagine for a moment that your life is like a vast field waiting to be cultivated. Every seed of love and dedication that you plant, no matter how small it may seem, has the potential to germinate and transform that soil into an orchard of hope. It is not just a matter of renouncing the superfluous, but of discovering that in the act of sacrificing the trivial, you find the space for the sublime. To build relationships based on trust, to establish projects that generate well-being, and to leave an indelible mark on those around you. This process of transformation, although it requires effort and perseverance, rewards you with an inner peace and satisfaction that no material achievement can match. Commitment to a cause also implies a constant exercise in humility and self-criticism. By embracing a greater purpose, you force yourself to look at yourself without filters, to recognize your limitations, and to work every day to overcome them. It is in this honesty with yourself that genuine strength is cultivated, that which is born of truth and not of a passing illusion. By recognizing that the path to personal fulfillment is through service to others, you free yourself from the chains of selfishness and open yourself to a life in which every triumph is shared and every obstacle is faced in community. The experience of giving yourself to a mission also invites you to rediscover the value of perseverance. In a world that constantly pushes you to seek instant gratification, the act of committing to something that requires time and effort becomes revolutionary. Transformation does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process in which every step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, adds up to building a future full of meaning and purpose. It is in those moments of waiting, of continuous effort and struggle against adversity, where true character is forged and the inner fire is lit that drives you forward, even when the road becomes difficult. In addition, dedicating yourself to a cause connects you to a community of like-minded hearts, a network of people who share your ideals and your vision of a more just and caring world. This union of souls grounded in love and faith is essential to sustain you in times of uncertainty. The collective strength of a community working together has the power to multiply individual efforts and transform realities. Every conversation, every encounter, every collaboration becomes a tangible manifestation of the power of shared love. By being part of this network, you not only find support and motivation, but you also become a source of inspiration for others, creating a ripple effect that transcends your own actions. Likewise, committing to a mission invites you to redefine your relationship with time. You understand that every moment is a valuable, unrepeatable resource, and that to waste it in inertia or superficiality is to give up the opportunity to build something transcendental. Therefore, you learn to prioritize what is essential, to organize your life so that every minute counts in the search for that greater good. This new approach helps you focus your energies on projects that really matter, on relationships that nourish your soul, and on activities that bring you closer to realizing your divine purpose. Finally, by embracing the mission of love and dedication to a cause, you become a living witness to the transforming power of God's love. Every action, every sacrifice becomes a light that not only illuminates your own path, but also ignites the flame of hope in those watching you. It is a process of spiritual contagion in which passion and surrender spread uncontrollably, creating a symphony of acts of love that resonates in the universe. This is the true essence of commitment, the conviction that by loving without limits and dedicating yourself wholeheartedly to a greater purpose, you not only change your destiny, but you become the agent of global transformation, a beacon guiding others to truth and light. May these words inspire you to move forward, to embrace every challenge as an opportunity to grow and to dedicate yourself with passion to that cause that is already beginning to beat deep within you. Live each day with the certainty that your commitment is vital, that every gesture counts, and that in the end, true love always finds a way to transform darkness into a bright dawn. Go ahead, keep sowing hope, and building a world where faith and love are the basis of every existence. Dear friend, you have reached the last stretch of this spiritual journey, and I want to congratulate you with all my heart for your perseverance. Very few people dare to walk this path of reflection and commitment, and you have demonstrated that your thirst for truth and your yearning for transformation are genuine. You are part of a select group of light seekers who are not satisfied with superficiality, but who delve into the mysteries that the Spirit reveals. Therefore, today I invite you to leave the following sentence in the comments. Today I consecrate myself to the light. My faith is my anchor, and my commitment, my path. Write these words as they are so that we can recognize the chosen ones who have made it to the end of this study. By doing so, you not only reaffirm your commitment, but also inspire others to follow a path of surrender and true love. Share this video with friends, family, and fellow believers. Every like, every share, every subscription is like sowing a seed of hope in a field thirsty for light. Imagine that your every gesture is a spark that, multiplied, can transform lives and light the beacon of truth in the midst of darkness. Don't let inertia keep you from this mission. By sharing this message, you invite others to discover that love and dedication can change the world. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, I invite you to do so now. Think of it as lighting a lamp in the darkest night, which not only illuminates your path, but also guides those who seek comfort and direction. If you are already part of this family, be proud, for your commitment is a living testimony that exalts faith and kindles the spiritual flame. The subscription is the link that keeps you connected to reflections that feed the soul, and I assure you that each new video is an opportunity to grow and strengthen your relationship with the Creator. Before concluding this study, I want you to take a moment to remain silent without pausing the video. Allow the music and the atmosphere of this closing to penetrate your being. Let each note become a bridge to the inner peace that only the Most High can offer. Use these moments to raise a prayer of gratitude. Thank the Lord for the day, for the light that has accompanied you, and for the strength to move forward. Let the silence speak. Let each beat of your heart synchronize with the divine vibration, and let that peace settle deeply within you. Remember that every like, every comment, and every subscription are acts of faith that not only affirm your commitment, but also allow this message to reach those who are thirsty for hope and love. Don't miss the opportunity to be an instrument of change in the world. Your testimony, that sincere statement of commitment, can be the beacon that lights the way for others who seek truth in the midst of darkness. I invite you to continue joining us in future videos, because each reflection is a seed that nourishes your spirit and ignites the flame of faith. By staying on this channel, you become part of a vibrant community, a network of souls that unite to transform realities and build a more just and supportive world. Remember, if you don't subscribe, you could be losing access to teachings that propel you to live with purpose and leave an indelible mark on the lives of those around you. And if you are already part of this community, let the pride of being a true seeker of light motivate you to share and spread this message. I want to congratulate you again for having made it this far. You are special and valuable, and your commitment is the proof that love and faith can open roads in the midst of difficulties. Don't forget to leave your comment with the appropriate phrase, share this video, and subscribe, because every action you take helps more people discover the transforming power of unconditional love and dedication to a greater cause. Now, I invite you to stay in this sacred space for a few minutes, allowing the music and silence to work within you. Do not pause the video. Let it run so that the spiritual connection we have built together is not severed. Take advantage of this moment to raise a prayer of praise and thanksgiving to the Lord, acknowledging His goodness and presence in every moment. May this pause renew you, strengthen you, and fill you with peace, reminding you that in every heartbeat and every breath, divine grace accompanies you. Thank you for being part of this journey, for your unwavering commitment, and for demonstrating that when the heart is filled with faith, paths to the light open up. May the peace of the Most High guide you always, and may your life be a living testimony of the transforming power of love. Share, subscribe, and keep walking in the light. Amen.